have Scott Iverson with us. Scott, we get questions from clients a lot of times on, there's a litany of accounts out there, they're used for different things. Can you go over a few of those for our people listening today and explain a little bit why we use them or how they're used?
Yeah, good morning, Stan. Thank you, and yeah, I'm happy to. So I don't want to discuss every single account type out there. This may be boring for people to begin with. It would get really boring if I got into every single account type. So I'm going to stay pretty high level and start with the 401k. The 401k is a group retirement plan. So people have that through their employers, or if they are the employer, they offer it to their employees. Those are a very useful account type to have for both employers and employees. And there's a lot of flexibility with what we can do to, one, help employers get money into those plans. So a business owner is able to get a larger amount of dollars into a plan like that than they would an IRA. Odds are they wouldn't be able to contribute to the IRA. A 401k allows that. For a high earner, a 401k allows them to put money into a plan in a Roth fashion, where in many cases they would be unable to contribute to a Roth IRA because their income is too high. So that is something that's very attractive about 401ks. Another thing about 401ks that a lot of folks aren't quite aware of, and not all 401ks allow it, so it's important to check and make sure that it does allow it, would be for in-plan Roth conversions. Converting from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA can be a great tax move. But for many people, if they have big IRA account balances, it's something that may not make a lot of sense. Right. Or to do a backdoor Roth, it may not add up. With a 401k, you can do it in the plan and eliminate some of those little issues. So to shift gears to more of an employer-based type of plan still, but not a 401k, HSAs are the greatest savings tool there is. And an HSA is something that we typically think of as an account that is used for health, used for saving money for the year's worth of health expenses, for the deductible. I would encourage people to flip that thinking on its head and use it as a long-term savings plan. Tax-wise, there is no friendlier account than an HSA. Dollars go in pre-tax and come out tax-free. And there's no other account that allows for that, as long as they are withdrawn the right way, which we don't have enough time to get into all those rules, but you can reach out to Claris and we can tell you how it works. So 401k, HSA, those would be employer-based type plans. Right. Use that HSA for long-term savings. Lastly, let's stick with individual accounts or taxable accounts, joint accounts, trust accounts. They're all kind of the same thing. 401ks are great. IRAs are great. But the problem we see a lot is when people get to retirement, let's say they have $2 million in a 401k. It's not really $2 million, right? For the most part, unless there's Roth money in there, if it's pre-tax money, those dollars are going to be taxed at ordinary income tax rates. The individual joint trust account, those dollars are taxed at much friendlier dividend and capital gains tax rates. And for that reason, we encourage people to utilize those types of accounts. That's a quick rundown of the ones we use, and I'll leave it there.
Right, and I think you make a good point. This, let's call it diversity amongst taxable and tax-deferred accounts are important. Yeah. We really see it when it comes to that distribution stage later on in life, that when we're starting to take money out, how useful it is to have these different types of accounts and not all the money in maybe one side or another. So, yeah, Scott, thanks a lot for explaining some of those accounts to us, how we use them, how they're important. Until next time, we appreciate it.